Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to some Victoria 3. All right. Let's do this, said Cow. Let's do this. All right. Let's see. Where were we? So we last left this off on Monday. We're moving along. So we got some positives and we got some negatives. Positive is North Borneo is going to be incorporated in 10 weeks. And so we can finally start getting some mass migrations. Hopefully. We also have enough of East Borneo to get migrations here. So they will be incorporated in 8 months. So that is good. So we can do that. Some negatives, though, is that in the last episode, Great Qing vassalized us. They made us a vassal. So they are crippling us economically. Hello, Barney. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Yes, and we are back. The Roar of the Tropics. Oof, look at this. Look at this. We're paying 4.54k to Qing. Ugh, it just kills me. Good to see you. Hope all is well, Barney. Thanks for joining in, as always. So not only are we paying a ton of money to them, but we also can't start any diplomatic plays on our own. So it's not even like we'll be able to take on the Dutch East Indies. So, unfortunately, we have a task added to our list that we're going to need to gain independence from Qing. Now, I suppose we could also try to just decrease or increase our autonomy, not get independence, but just not be a vassal anymore, and that'll keep us in the Qing market. Though, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the Qing market. I mean, this iron right here is killing me. Yeah, being a puppet in this game sucks. You can go bankrupt because your overlord is greedy. Try to seek puppet from the damn British. Oh, yeah. Oof. Don't ever, yeah. Trying to do anything like that with the British is always tough. See, the thing is, if what we were on before, I always forget the levels of puppeting and vassalization, but what we were on before this one, where we had more autonomy, we weren't paying nearly as much in the diplomatic pact. Now, the benefit here is, like, we're in the Qing market, right? So we've got plenty of grain, plenty of all this other stuff, but honestly, like, yeah, like, look at this stuff. Like, even if we build things ourselves, it's still, I mean, it'll be a profitable building, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to stay with Qing. Now, the one benefit we have is that we have modernized our military. So our armies have a much higher offense and defensive rank. Problem is, they just have so many battalions. They're ranked the #1 army, but like, or the #1 military. But like, if you look at, let's look at one of their armies. Yeah, like let's take the 23rd Qing army. 15 and 16. Like, we're much stronger, but they have 69,000 troops in this army. So they heavily outnumber us. However, if we declared independence, as long as the Dutch East Indies don't join on their side, they would have to naval invade us. And the advantage is always to the defending force in a naval invasion. Yeah, this is indeed complicated. Before seeking independence, you have to see if you're economically self-sufficient. We are not. We aren't completely self-sufficient. Honestly, I think the thing that we really just need more of is grain. But the thing is, if we get independence, we can also start engaging in trade. Though it looks like we don't have a lot of convoys for trade anyway. After all, I must remember, until the Charters of Commerce, this game is a simulator of protectionism. Yeah, autarky, yeah. This is so very true. Yeah, if this were Tuesday and Charters of Commerce were out, I believe even as a vassal we could engage in trade, because our trade centers would be bringing things into our local market. Now, here's the other problem I'm finding, and this one is incredibly frustrating for me right now. At the start of this run, it was hard for us to bring Great Qing into wars for us as an ally, because the moment we did, all of a bunch of like European powers would join against us because they really just wanted to fight Qing. Now that we're looking for allies to fight Qing, it's like they're all, you know, support independent. Like we look here, Prussia was one that would have joined against us before, offered to support independence. Oh, well, actually, okay, so they're a possibility. But a lot of these other ones, yeah, look at this, like, they're genio with Great Qing. So are they. All these people that are, like, negative, like, over 1,000, they're protective toward Great Qing. Why suddenly everybody loves Great Qing when we finally need them to fight? Although Prussia, so this is interesting, maybe Prussia. Wait. Weren't we just looking at this? Was I looking at something different? Yeah, look at this. They're cautious toward Qing. Yeah, Great Britain. Spain. Nope, Spain too. Ugh. What about the United States? Ooh, you guys have been doing some work over here. Yeah, nobody's going to get in on this. Hey, Rob. Hello. Ayo. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see you. We just started. We haven't even done the first unpause yet. We're just taking stock of everything. All right, so we're building some barracks. Oh, hello, Kado. Hello, thank you for the follow. Thank you, I appreciate it. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you very much, thank you very much. It's itchy, that's what I'll say. I've been like, every day I'm like, this is the day I'm shortening this beard. But then I'm like, yeah, I don't know. My beard is my strength. And right now, my country is weak. Rob, how are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. Doing good. You know, just a day in heat here. Massive heat. Excited for 1.9 is like the biggest understatement for me. I cannot wait for 1.9 to come out. I feel like I've been waiting for it for so long. The game is just going to be so insanely better after 1.9, and I say that as someone that absolutely loves the game as it is right now. So it's going to be even better then. The only problem with facing the Qing is that they have an absurd amount of battalions. Yeah, the good side is that they are also almost prehistoric technologically. I know, like they have tons and tons of soldiers that are all like just carrying sticks basically. So like, I don't know what to make of that. Abolishing DEI today. Yes. Well, actually, no, probably not today. Unfortunately, before we can abolish DEI, we have to abolish Qing. And before anybody memes me on that, where DEI is the Dutch East Indies, for context. Big heat. Yeah, big heat. Oh my god, it's killing me. My run right now, my air conditioner is struggling over there. I might start playing Roblox Paradox games. Oh my god, I can only imagine what a Roblox Paradox game would be. I cannot imagine. Cannot imagine. Okay, so let's get the unpause here. Actually, I want to check too, what is Qing's navy situation? 24 flotillas. Okay, so here's the idea for the run tonight. Borneo, North Borneo, is about to incorporate in 10 weeks. And so we can start getting a bunch of migration. Now, someone did point this out to me, though, the last stream. I did not think of this. Great Qing does have closed borders. But we are part of Qing. So I don't actually know how that will affect our migration of Chinese peasants to us. You got a TikTok about Roblox, Hearts of Iron 4 and EU4? Oh my god, I'm going to look that up. I want to see somebody try to make a Paradox game in Roblox, of all things. 1 million battalions, 17th century muskets versus about 20 British with skirmish rifles. Yeah. And here's the thing. They would have to naval invade us if Dutch East Indies doesn't get involved. The Mandate of Heaven verse. Feel good plant. All right, let's unpause here. Let's go to speed 1, because actually, so what are we doing with laws? What are we going to pass here? How's our taxation? So yeah, we have the tax law that we want. I suppose if we did National Guard, yeah, if we passed it, we would only get one conscript battalion out of it, so it's not worth it. Oh, let's pause for a second. Something I wanted to point out. Someone brought this to my attention at the end before. We have no migration controls. That also means our peasants can leave us. Now, we have a very high... Actually, no. We have a very high standard of living. So I don't think we need to worry about that so much. Everybody's employed. Everybody has work. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about that. You know, at some point we do need to take on these laws. So we need to empower the trade unions. But, you know. Oh, we have empowered the trade unions. Look at that. Wait, they're in government. What's the deal? Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need human rights. We need to get down to human rights. That would help us out so much. But one thing is a fact. Once you modernize Qing just a little, the sky's the limit. You become a power even if you don't want to. I know. I mean, like, just look at the size of their military. Like, if you just modernize that military. Although I guess, the problem is, let's say you made every single one of these battalions like line infantry. I mean, the cost of that would be massive. So maybe that's part of it. But you also don't need 1 million soldiers. I don't know what's better. Tons of people with sticks or a few good soldiers with weapons, with decent weapons. I don't know. All right, what are we subsidizing? Imagine employing all of China in this game. Not sure if there's enough resources. Yeah. I know, I've never done a Great Qing run because it just seems very daunting, but maybe someday, right? Maybe someday I should do that. Okay, so in my infinite wisdom last episode, I started subsidizing the rice farms and livestock ranches. Now, the rice farms, I guess I get. I was trying to get our economic dependence on Qing down. The livestock ranches, though, I don't quite get that. Why did I do that? I suppose... Oh, for fertilizer, maybe? But we're getting 2 fertilizer out of it, so... No. Okay, but you still haven't answered me. Oh, when will we have world conquest with Luxembourg? I know, right? I mean, that is a possibility. Luxembourg counts as a small nation. Maybe. And there is an achievement. I always like to tie an achievement in. Luxurious Luxembourg. Where is it? Where are you? Yeah, there it is. It's a hard one. Starting as Luxembourg, be the leading producer of luxury clothes, luxury furniture, and porcelain. You know, now that you bring this up, this might be an interesting one to do as the first Charters of Commerce run. Because you could totally play with the whole trade rights, like through Belgium, to access the world market, right? And then you could really just import a bunch of stuff. Okay, Rob, yeah. See you in a little bit, buddy. So, yeah, Luxembourg, not a bad idea. World conquest. I mean, we'll conquest something. At least Belgium. We do have some... Okay, so we have some construction inefficiencies. Luxembourg, like, call an ambulance, but not for me. All I have is, all I do is kick ass and, I don't know. You know, I can't even complete that. I was going to say something about Luxembourg, but now that I think about it, I don't even know what, like, a cultural stereotype of Luxembourg would be. All right, so we're actually going to take out one of these. What are we getting on this? 470. I was going to take this off so that we can do road maintenance, but we kind of need it. Do we have buildings to sell? Because we're going to start getting into debt. Tooling and artillery, but they're not very profitable. And then we do have some of this stuff. Okay. I think Luxembourg is a miniature version of Germany or the Netherlands, i.e. cows, beer, rivers, and bicycles. Alright. So, like, all we have is bratwurst. All we do is kick ass and eat bratwurst. And we're all out of bratwurst. There we go. That worked. I don't know how funny that was, but it worked. Now, I'm hesitant to even start trying to create a navy because really we just need the army. We need the army. So we're going to work on that. Oh, you know, I didn't check my sound this one, though clearly everybody can hear me. But, you know, hello, me. Check my sound this one, though clearly everybody can hear me. But, you know, hello, me. Hello back at you, buddy. All right. So let's see. Okay, so we've got some mobile artillery going. We're creating them in North Borneo because that's where we got it. Though we will have some... Oh no, okay, so we're not having any hiring problems, so that's good. When the war starts, we're probably going to need to, like, subsidize this stuff. The real question is... Whoa. Hey, look at that. Okay, now we're making some money. How many soldiers are we going to need to take on Qing? Seeking to turn the tide of nationalism to the favor of the Liberal Party, Shu Yat-sen held a patriotic speech in one of Pontiac's parks. Ooh, try to say that 10 times fast. Shu Yat-sen held a patriotic speech in Pontiac's parks. Patriotic speech in Pontiac's parks. Ooh. Yeah, I'd rather take this one. Gives a little bit more prestige. Incorporated. Okay. Now, I wish we could do... Oh, look at that. Okay. Let's get a greener grass campaign going. So, let's see. Borneo is eligible as a mass migration target. Oh, yeah. Who are you? One. I used to have long hair, but in my case it was a lot of work, especially when washing, shampooing, conditioning, combing. Today I oh, you shaved your head. Wow. How does it feel? Do you feel liberated? I do feel sometimes like, oh my god, this is a lot of work to maintain, but it was a lot of work to grow. I don't know what to do. All right. So we have a very high standard of living. So what we want, even from here, like what is the standard of, look at this, yeah. So yeah, the lower strata, we have a much higher standard of living than their lower strata. So hopefully we can get some Korean migration, I hope. All right. What is this? Oh, what is this? What nonsense is this? Wait, were we just handed the Heavenly Kingdom? Ooh. Honestly, my showers last much less. Yeah. And there's a nice breeze in the winter. Showers, seriously, like washing this hair is like, it takes a little bit. Damn, though, we can't. I think what we kind of hope for, maybe, is hope that the Heavenly Kingdom wins. And then maybe they will support our independence. Or also, if they win, this is going to cut their military down. Oh no. Gold depleted in North Borneo. Alright, let's pause for a second. The rich mineral deposits in North Borneo have been drained, mines are being shuttered, and all the prospectors who moved in are beginning to drift away in search of the next big strike. Yeah, we don't want to lose migration attraction like that. But that also means gold mines. Give them here. All of them. Do those first before Ching starts building them. The Heavenly Kingdom is that regime led by a folk who claimed to be Jesus's brother, right? Is that what it is? I mean, I've seen this in the game, and it's one of those things I've always been like, I should look that up. I don't know much about this. Is that seriously what the Heavenly Kingdom is? Because I know there is a thing about, like, Jesus's brother and stuff like that, right? What about Russia? Would Russia support our... No, everybody loves Ching. Now, they would help us, but the problem is they're a subject of Great Britain. Admiral Zakai has made public statements in support of the Patriotic Party, bringing into question the political neutrality of the military. So who's this guy? What is his deal? Oh, he's an admiral. Oh, he's our admiral. He's a pretty good one. Ooh, actually I like this guy as an admiral. How close is the Patriotic Party? Oh. You know, I didn't look. What is his ideology? A moderate. What's the current one? Republican. No, we can give some momentum to the Patriotic Party. Yeah, look at their leader and their ideology. There's a lore exclusive to the clergy. Oh. Hong Shuquan. Interesting. And so they are, yeah. Taiping God-worshipping society. Whoa, look at this interest group. Very interesting. I've never really, like, looked at it all that much. God-worshipper. And they are state religion, but what is their state religion? I forget where it tells you that. Hey, Paco, hello, hello. Welcome in, friend. Good to see you, good to see you. Oh, so this is the guy they say was the brother of Jesus? That's their deal? Jesus was Italian and his brother is Chinese. I mean, that makes sense in a Paradox game. Hey, he's our primary culture. Let's bring him over here. Well, I'm hoping... Ooh, I'm hoping that they win this war, but it is not... It is not looking like. I feel like that fact never comes up in history textbooks. Only have heard Vic players mention that. We are, you know, Victoria 3 players are very, very worldly when it comes to anything that's specifically in this game. And the leader has an exclusive green bonus in the lower right corner called Oh, he does? What? Brother of Christ. What? I did not know. I've seen the Heavenly Kingdom pop up so many times. I've always kind of stayed clear of Great Qing in this game. In terms of, like, playing as them. This is interesting. I want to do a run as the Heavenly Kingdom now. What's their rank? Yeah, I mean, you would start that high if you're taking a chunk out of Great Qing. Alright, let's speed this up. Yeah, let's get these gold mines built before Qing does anything. Because this will be very beneficial to us. So let's keep an eye on the population. We haven't gotten mass migration. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Okay. So we are getting migration. Of who, though? Yeah. War has broken out. War for you guys, not for us. Ooh. Okay. Timu Jesus. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh. They received this migration from Lanfang and East Borneo. Yeah, I need like a migration from elsewhere. Alright, they're incorporated now too. Theirs is only medium though. Well, either way, I want more people in Lanfang, or in North Borneo, I mean. And the Mormons say they are special. My brother, do you have any idea how I can lead the brother of the Son of God? Seriously, this is a heresy of the worst kind. Oh, what the what? Alright, the Liberal Party won. Excellent here. So the Liberal Party won. The Free Trade Party was not far behind. We are going to want to throw these guys, the Patriotic Party, into government, though, when it comes time for war. So as long as we can stay contested, that's good. We don't need to throw them in right now, but... yeah, this looks good. We'll gain some loyalists back. We need to lower our taxes. Oh. We are... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, taxation capacity. I don't know. We need... I don't think we need as much taxation capacity. Let me take a look. Yeah, we have a ton there. Ton there. And a ton there. So I think we would actually benefit more from elected bureaucrats. And this is going to pass, like, quickly. Because we'll get a little bit more bureaucracy, and we'll get out of that. Let's do that. He could have made a better heresy. Great-grandson of Jesus would have been a much better story, yeah. You know what's funny? The whole time we talked about this, I was like, not even thinking about the time period. I was like, oh yeah, wait. Brother of Jesus. My man. Ooh. So gold discovered in West Borneo. Gold has been discovered in Lanfang. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. I think we'll take the gold fields throughput, because we can't really get migration to Lanfang yet. Although, Lanfang, this is the state, right? Not the country? Yeah. My question is, did he really believe he was the brother of Christ? Because, well, he led a very large rebellion. That's a good question. I wonder that about Jesus. Yeah. I mean, I feel like his followers believed it. I don't know if people like that actually believe it. Like, they must know, right? They must know. Mary pulled off the biggest finesse, if you don't believe. Oh, man. Okay, can we lower taxes? Oof. We cannot. We really can't. Oh, but we can get more greener grass campaign. What? Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, man, we are losing standard of living, though. Yeah, because the taxes. We gotta get the taxes down. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We need the standard of living high in order to get that migration. Okay. 14 years of Catholic school. That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. Not here. I am a child of a dual religious home, Catholic and Muslim. So I learned about both. I learned enough about both, but not everything about either. But enough. Okay, so yeah, Heavenly Kingdom. The brother of Christ is about to meet his Tibu masters. Yes. Oh well. That is interesting, though. You can see how beautiful history is. One day, Diogenes tells Alexander the Great to get out of the way of the sun. The next, a self-proclaimed brother of Christ starts a rebellion in 19th century China. Yeah. Right? It's just insane. I find Islam so neat. I have to read Quran one day. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a religion that I find most people don't know much about. I've had many times, too, people say to me, like, oh, I know about Islam. I know about Islam. And I'm like, do you? do you know about Islam? And so whenever somebody says that to me, the very first question I always ask them is, who's the Messiah in Islam? That's kind of like the first and basic question of most every religion, right? In Judaism, there is no the Messiah hasn't arrived yet. Christianity, the Messiah is Jesus. So in Islam, who's the Messiah? And I find most people will say Muhammad. That's why I say, yeah, you don't know anything about Islam, because the Messiah in Islam is Jesus. And that's when I know somebody doesn't actually know anything about it, even though they proclaim they have. Underappreciated in the States a ton right now, but everything I hear is so open and beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it is, right? But it still suffers from the same thing most religions suffer from. I mean, it's got a lot of issues in it, but the thing I find is that it's the same issues you find in every religion, right? So the issues with it are just the way in which people enact their religion, and not the religion itself. Gold. Oh, gold depleted in West Borneo. Oh, okay. We got to build those fields. The rich mineral deposits in Lanfang have been drained. Mines are being shuttered, and all the prospectors who moved in are beginning to drift away. Yeah, we don't want to lose migration attraction, but we do want to build the gold fields. Oh, wait. Whoops, I mean to be over here. I can separate the belief and like the teaching, and those teaching came from great moral thinkers, divine or not. Yeah, I do think like there's a lot of interesting societal laws that were added into the religion, and so yeah, a lot. I think I would agree with that. Yes, in this case, the Quran contains a lot of the re-edited Old Testament, as well as parts of the New Testament. One of the differences is that Jesus does not die in the Quran. Yeah, he ascends to heaven. Exactly. That's so the kind of basis of Islam is that this is one of the things that the God tells Muhammad is that there's too much of a blurred line between humanity and God. And that there should be a distinct separation of God and man. And so you see this a lot, especially in Catholicism, but in most Christianity, like they'll use terms like they'll call God like the Lord, right, which is an earthly title. The Lord is my shepherd. Like that is something you refer to as with a human being, right? And so the idea is that there's a separation between God and man. And so that applies to Jesus as well, which I always find interesting, is that Jesus is not the Son of God in Islam. He was sent by God. And what's interesting is they believe the story exactly as Christians believe it. The Virgin Mary and all of that stuff. The story is believed exactly the same way, but the interpretation of it, God made Mary pregnant, but you don't think of God as the father of Jesus because a father is an earthly title. So that's why, Jesus didn't die because that's something a human being does. He ascends to heaven because he is kind of an in-between of God and man. He isn't a man. He isn't quite God. But that's why it's interpreted differently. And they don't believe in the resurrection. So there's that. There's that too. That is the one place, I guess, the books differ between Islam and Christianity. Doesn't he in the Bible too, or just Mary? So, thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see you in a few. We'll see you in a few. I'll tell you one person who didn't ascend to heaven. That brother of Christ from the heavenly kingdom. Sorry. Don't unfollow me over that. All right. The creature's likeness to God is so imperfect that it does not reach the common kind. St. Thomas Aquinas already said this. The likeness of God to man is asymmetrical because God is perfect. Oh. Hello, elected bureaucrats. Wait, that didn't do much, though, for us here. Yeah, the creature's likeness to God is so imperfect that it does not reach the common kind. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, though, this is the thing that I think that Muhammad and Islam were trying to stress more, right? Because that's also kind of the basic progression of Western religions. Everybody was Jewish, and then this guy Jesus comes along who was Jewish and says, no, you're all doing it wrong, and now everybody became Christian. And then you had a bunch of Christians, and then this guy Muhammad came along and said, no, you guys are doing it wrong, and then people became Muslim. And so everybody is kind of... Every religion was formed by the religion right before it. So that's kind of the thing of Islam. The Quran is supposed to be the Bible written in poetic verse. And so I think that's the thing I find so interesting about people here in the United States who either just straight up say they don't know anything about Islam or claim they know about Islam, is that they don't really know that's what the book is. Okay, so when we get these gold fields, or not the gold fields, I mean the gold mines, we're going to have quite a bit of budget. And so we will be able to sustain a larger military. And and so we do need more coal. Do you want to play with a small, difficult, and almost empty country? Start with Mexico and liberate Desiree, the Mormon theocracy in the Holy Land of Utah. Were you the one telling me about this? Because I feel like I was just talking about this with someone the other day, and I didn't know about this. But there's like a releasable in Utah, right? I didn't know about this until I feel like it was like last week. Someone was telling me about it. Maybe it was you. I don't know. But yeah, I want to try that now. I've been thinking about that. I'll have to start an offline run of it just to get the lay of the land, because I've never done it before. I didn't know about it. Look at this construction inefficiency. Oh, this is why the trade unions are not happy. Okay, what can we pass that you guys would like? Well, definitely not any of that. God, why do you guys like the worst laws? Okay, we could do poor laws. This is going to add cost. Okay, can we get a good trade unions at, well, what is the current trade unions? A moderate. Okay. So who can we get that will get you guys to chill out? Nobody. Well, I guess if we're looking at people to bring in, well, I mean, they're all authoritarian. We can get a market liberal landowner, but yeah, the landowners now don't matter. So the only one possible would be this Democrat rural folk, which we already have. You have amazing statistics in Desiree. Prepare yourself for incredible data. 4,000 pops, almost zero GDP, and only indigenous people, despite the government being Dixie for culture. Oh, see, okay, I kind of feel like the stream I did before this was Transvaal, and now Lanfang, and the two, one of the two similarities between these two countries is that you start off with a primary culture that is almost no people in your country, which makes it very difficult. So after doing two streams of this, I kind of feel like I just to like have a breath of fresh air, I want to see if I can do my next stream as a country where I don't need my primary culture to be the majority of the country, but I also don't want them to be like 5 dudes in a shop and they're like, yeah, we're the primary culture. so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta get the trade unions happy because this is just excruciating. Although that'll explain 10% of it. What's the other 9? Oh, the Borneo rainforest. See, we really need to put road maintenance in. We need the greener grass campaigns. How much are we getting off of liquor? You know, okay. We're going to take the consumption tax off of liquor because if we can build these gold fields quicker, we'll get more money. So that's what we're going to go with. Look at that. It took a whole year off of the building thing here. So there is that. God, I feel like we're just on the cusp of being able to finally do something with Lanfang. But I feel like that a lot. I feel like I'm always on the cusp of being able to do something of significance. But we're almost there. We're almost there. I do love the fact that once we finally are able to get mass migrations, our standard of living is 16th when we were hanging around like the top 10 for so long. I mean, this is the product, though, of having high taxes for so long. One day I'll try to create a Mormon theocracy with Desiree, but it depends on a lot of luck. Like the U.S. attacking Mexico, and you taking advantage of it to steal California from them. You know, I've never really looked either. So, I mean, I imagine they have the Mormon religion, right? Religion. Animist. Oh, that's interesting. Where are the Mormons? When was the Mormon religion founded? You know, I don't even know that. Let's figure that out. $1830. Look at that. God, they have an exact date. That's how you know your religion is so new. April 6th, 1830. Wait, what? It was founded in New York. I didn't realize Joseph Smith founded it in New York. Nope, nobody there. Wonk, wonk, wonk. Wait, if you want mass migrations, go to W4R. Remember the last plays. Wait, what? What's W4R? Warfor. I'm being an idiot. I'm an idiot right now. What is that? Remember the last plays. Unfortunately, the game was unfair to the Mormons. There's only Protestantism as a faith in Desiree. Like the Nordic countries and the Celestial Kingdom have their own church, and Utah doesn't. poor Utes. Poor Utes. Ugh, okay, we're gonna have to subsidize this. And then, yeah, we're gonna need... Yeah, there's no demand for it yet, but once these guys start going... War. Oh, go to war. Oh, I see. Oh, wait. Does the chatbot censor the word war? That's good to know. I'm going to go in and make that an accepted word because we're playing Victoria 3. You're going to have people are going to have to be able to type the word war. I mean, I guess I could see why maybe it's on the list, but that's kind of annoying. But to be fair, yeah, Utah didn't have Christ's brother. Not like the Heavenly Kingdom. Wah, wah, wah. Someday. Oh, man, 62 weeks to get that. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to go to 4-speed here, because we need this stuff to be built. So the Dayak national movement is starting to gain some momentum. See, I could really use some authority. It would be nice if you go good old oligarchy here. Or even autocracy, but it comes with its disadvantages. And other than that, you know, monarchy would give us authority. But I don't know if it's worth going through the trouble to get it. It might be time actually to go to interventionism. Yeah, because we want the capitalists to start taking off a little bit here. Gold depleted in North Borneo. Yeah, do not lower my migration attraction. Are we getting 2 of those right now? Oh, you're killing me. Alright, our attraction is still high. But we want... Oh, Qing. Tell me... Oh, no. Okay, it's 5 because we already have 1. Okay. Yeah, just give me all the gold mines. Because this is what's going to help us get our military. Our economy will basically just be gold mines and soldiers. I'm ready to just do that. Alright. No mass migrations yet, though. You know, I haven't looked, though. What is their migration policy? No migration controls. Come on, people. Yeah, look at this. Korean. Oh, wait. What would their acceptance be? East Asian heritage. What's ours? East Asian heritage. So we share a heritage trait. So they would get plus 60. And then they get that. So plus 75. Yeah, so they would be second-class citizens. What are they right now in Korea? So Korean laborer. Oh. Well, they're kind of accepted. Well, they are accepted. But their standard of living is 11.3. Oh. I see. Look at this. Actually, they all have... Well, how about these guys? 7? Get your ass over to Lanfang. Wait. Wait, what? Oh, wait, this is the Korean culture here. Well, that was a fail. No, I want to look here. From what I saw, the Taiping Rebellion guy convinced himself he was a brother of Christ because he failed several times in the imperial exams. My brother repeated the year and started a bloody revolt. You know, I would love it if my students did that to me. They failed the exam. Be like, Professor, no, you don't understand. I'm the brother of Christ. I'd be like, oh, are you now? Well, you still don't know how to write a paper. Oh, wait, though. Okay, here's the problem. I didn't think of this. They're in their homeland. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to get any migration here. Yeah, wait, what was I thinking? Why would I get... I guess I could get regular old migration. But that's true mass migration. Yeah. Okay. Well, what kind of migration are we getting now? Oh, we're losing people. Well, we're losing people here. What's the Dutch East Indies migration law? They have migration controls. Because their primary culture is, I'm sure it's not Hakka. Well, let's see here. Like, what people are over here? God, we need... Oh, this is going to help us out majorly. We'll get a company. Egalitarianism. So we're in the second level. So at this point, it would still take us 19 years. I don't think that's worth just going straight down to it. I don't know, though. Well, that's... Okay, once we get egalitarianism, we'll see what this will be. Because we can go for this, like, right after egalitarianism. Yeah, look at that. That's not going to be worth it. It's going to take way too much time. Like, we'll be in the end game by the time we do that. I mean, we could also use some universities. There is that. Well, how's my gold mines doing? Yeah, I know. No peasants, exactly. That's what's tough. That's what's tough about this run. So we're trying to get... Oh, good, we got more gold fields. So that's why we need migration so bad. Yeah. See, the thing that makes this run so difficult is that, like, so take a look at the state we start with, Lanfang. They only have 3 arable land. You need at least 20 arable land to be a mass migration target. So that's why we made sure to take over these 2 states and get enough of the split states to get us up to 20. So, and then you also need to be incorporated. So, and it took us 20 years to incorporate. So we're finally there. $20 total. You need 20 total. Yeah. For attraction and, like, to be eligible as a mass migration target. So... See, look at this. Yeah. So North Borneo has a high migration attraction compared to the average in the Qing market and may receive immigrants from other states in the Qing market, but we just haven't seen it yet. Yeah, the Greener Grass campaign is doing all it can, but, you know, I know. Well, so the good thing is, so we're losing pops to our other states. So they're going to Lanfang and East Borneo, which is our states. So we're not losing them from the country. Yeah, I know, right? When I first saw this earlier, I was like, what the what? but but to be honest with you, I would rather have my pops in North Borneo. This has the better resources and more of the gold fields. I figured they'd be going to like China. I know that's the thing, is that I have more better conditions than China, so we really need to just start getting people. Like the description of the interest group changes depending on the country. In the U.S., the rural community will be the Yaoman farmers. In Russia, the landowners will be the Russian, yeah, aristocracy. Yeah, and like us, our intelligentsia are the literati. Oh great, Bessemer process for steel mills that we don't have. Factories in North Borneo have been reported to be placing Dayak people into roles with incredibly poor work conditions, owing to their status as second-class citizens in Lanfang. Alright, we don't want to lose that bureaucracy because we really need it. Yeah, we'll take this. We want people to be treated well. Oh, that market liberal landowner? Sure. The relatively lenient Lanfangan immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Recently, Norpush Shatra has petitioned to join the stream of people moving to Lanfang. Okay. I do want to look at... We're not going to actually do it, but let's say I made a move for independence. Now why... Oh. Okay, we need... Oh, I didn't realize our relations were high. Let's start damaging those relations. One question. Will you ever go back to doing multiplayer gameplays? Yeah, I would like to. I did a couple. Problem is, the group I'm with, they do them on Saturdays, and Saturdays have become just a very difficult day to get to do them. Now that the summer has hit, I might be able to do some like on Thursdays, like during the afternoons and stuff. So I'm hoping in the next couple weeks to have some time on Thursdays. Even though tomorrow is like going to be a busy day for me, but generally, I'm just having trouble finding a day to do it. Because multiplayer days, you really need to sit down for like 5 hours to do a game with somebody. Unfortunately. And it's hard to find that time. I would love to do more multiplayer runs. I think it's a lot of fun. Members of the Lanfang and Spanish Union have discreetly dispatched one of their number to amplify their mission in Lanfang's most widely read newspaper. Can we afford... I would like to take that. Can we afford... We can. We also have righteous government. Okay, so we can get some of these radicals out. I would love better relations with Spain. I love that. Oh, we're friendly. We're protective. Will you support our independence? Oh, hell no. Yeah, because you guys are buddy-buddy with Great Qing. Oh, they are, I forgot. They are giving us military assistance. Okay. So there is that. The budget is fine. I would like to lower taxes, though. Alright. Alright, we're a little over an hour right now. So I'm going to take a 60-second break, go to the bathroom, get another drink, and then I'll be right back. So, 60 seconds. Be right back. Alright. And we're back. Let's see. English. No, I teach theater. I am a theater professor. But, so I guess, yeah, drama, you could say. I teach the drama. Drama by day, industrialist by night. Alright, let's speed this up a little bit. Alright. Oh, good. Okay, so the trade unionists are a little happier. God, I would love it if they were up to solidarity. What was the thing we could pass? Oh yeah, interventionism. They would like that. Honestly, okay, we might go for interventionism. We don't really... We want to start... We get all that contribution efficiency, but... And we get more... we'll lose 5% in government dividends efficiency, which isn't great. We get all this additional investment pool contribution. But I think we'll do it. I think it's time. Cool, today's teenagers need a little more drama. I'm talking about real drama. Or knowing how to fake crying well to win an iPhone. Yeah, you know, I talk about that actually. I mean, I have a whole section where we go over the method style of acting. And not as... And how it's not exactly how the people refer to the method in popular culture. But that idea of, like, how do you make yourself have physical, emotional reactions on cue, like crying on cue and things like that. We don't actually go through it and learn how to do it, but we talk about, like, what the strategies of it are. maybe after this gold mine, we can just finish this barracks off. Yeah, so if I asked to decrease this, what would it take? Huh. Ah, so they aren't even so sure they could defeat us. You know... Plus 14 for offering the obligation. So that would be 35. Yeah, that still wouldn't be enough. You know, okay, maybe let's stop damaging our relations, actually, because we are getting... That is helping us to increase our autonomy. If we can increase... See, the problem, though, is their government... Yeah, we can't get landowners. Yeah, the ideological difference. We would need to throw the landowners in government. And for our landowners are marginalized. Do you ask your students to read and watch the classics like Hamlet, Singing in the Rain, and Two and a Half Men? Yes, the Two and a Half Men. Actually, I'm not like a fan of that or anything, but... Ooh, we just lost those. That's interesting. But it's funny because I do have a... Well, let's not do that if we're not getting anything off of it. I do have an assignment they do at the end of the year where they have to create like a theatrical production concept, and they can use anything from theater, film, or television. And so I have gotten some like, okay, here's how we would do Two and a Half Men on stage. A lot of times I'll get things like Friends. I find it's so interesting how the show Friends is still so relevant with like a younger generation. I mean, they must be watching it on like Nick at Night, which is a sad thing to think about. Alright, so we have these trade routes to make us some mones. I don't want to spend any bureaucracy, though, so we'll just take the 5 free ones. But that should be creating some trade centers. Yeah, so they're on Lanfang. But not profitable. Interesting. Wages are 838. Tariffs 480. Not enough trade revenue. Pulling out a handy dandy calculator. So, like, let's pause this moment. I want to count this up. I've never actually audited a trade center to make sure I understand what's going on with it, even though it's all about to change on Tuesday. The trade revenue. This is interesting, though. Trade revenue is 367. Oh, I see. 367 minus 140. 227 is after the tariff. So this is all before tariffs. Here's the tariffs. . Oh, the Dutch. The Dutch have some high tariffs. Well, yeah, I don't think we... Yeah, let's increase exports. I remember reading Hamlet in the 9th grade. It was a difficult read. I had read little until then, but it was cool. The book that I remember liking was Frankenstein and A Christmas Carol. Yeah, you know, I find Shakespeare interesting and how it is taught because, and I try to go into this with my classes, I don't really like the way Shakespeare is taught and even who he was as a person. People try to make Shakespeare out to be this person that was like this aloof artist just sitting by a window and writing beautiful rhyming couplets. And the thing people forget about Shakespeare was that he was first and foremost a businessman. He was an excellent businessman. Wasn't he a hoe? He was absolutely a hoe. That is for sure. But, like, he was an excellent businessman who also just happened to be, like, a phenomenal writer. But he knew how to give his audience what they wanted. And I think that was one of his great gifts as well. And people forget that all the writers of that time were all from the rich aristocracy. They were all very wealthy. They didn't really need the revenue from those plays. All but Shakespeare, who wasn't part of the poor class. He was part of the very, very small middle class at the time. But unlike all of the other writers around him, he actually needed the income from those plays, and he was sending it back to his wife and children. And so there's always something a little different about him from all the other writers of that time because of that. Something that separates him. And I think that's why you have that like long-standing like bullshit myth and conspiracy theory that he wasn't the one who wrote his plays. Because it all started from back then from these people who thought like he didn't have his fancy education from Oxford. How could he possibly be this talented? Because they believed in order to have talent, you needed to have an expensive education, and he didn't. And so he's not really taught that way. I mean, when you really break down a lot of his work, there is a lot of rebellion and detest of the rich aristocracy in his plays. But it's all not very overt because, again, he's not going to put his neck out on the line because he still needs people to buy tickets to his shows because he actually needs the income from it. And I think he's not really taught in that way. And I think many students would respond more to him if they actually understood where he was coming from in that way. Well, speaking of theater, I remember that this was a project. Each group would present a part of The Count of Monte Cristo. My group and I presented the beginning. Oh, that's kind of cool. And guess what? It was a disaster. The cardboard set fell down. The robotic acting. The beard falling off. After the fiasco, I just wanted to laugh. That is a rite of passage. You have to do something like that. Oh my god, I remember once I was working at this kids like theater camp. It wasn't like a camp in that we were out somewhere. It was at my college and it was just done in the summer. And it was like this playwriting summer camp. And so at the kids wrote a play through the however many weeks it was. And then it all culminated in this like all the kids performed in each other's plays, including us, and we performed their plays. And this is one kid who wrote this. Actually, it was a really great play, but it was something about like Spanish conquistadors or something like that. And I had this whole like outfit thing on, and we had these like pillars standing up, and I don't even remember why. But we had to move around in the dark in order to like get into different positions. And I remember moving, and I kind of bumped into one, and I had to lay down like I was dead, so I'm laying down, and I just hear, bang! I was like, what the hell was that? My first thought was, oh my god, I hope it didn't hit one of the kids. And when the lights come on, I kind of look over, and one of those pillars literally fell like inches from my head. So, luckily it didn't hit a student, and very, very luckily it didn't hit me. And so, yeah, what you said just made me think of that. Just bumping into set pieces, everything's falling. It was a disaster. Several workers died today at the Lanfang dye works when an industrial-sized tub of hot dye accidentally spilled out over the workshop floor and the unsuspecting workers. Alright. Yes, we will take this. We'll get +1 approval from the trade unions. God, it's going to take us 4 years. We're really going to have to spend 4 years doing this, huh? Alright. You know, I want to take note here of the population, Shogun. So we're at 375k. I'm going to take a note of that. North of Borneo, 375k. It says we're growing. I want to make sure we are. Yeah, we're still just moving people around within our country, though. So we still haven't gotten anything from Qing. So we're paying a lot for grain, which is interesting. We could do this, but we need fertilizer. We have sulfur. Oh, but we don't have the tech for it. No, we do. Damn. Okay. So we need to lower the cost of grain, I think, in order to raise the standard of living. So what we're going to do is we're going to build these fertilizer plants. Because then we could really increase grain production. Clothes are a little expensive, services, but 22.7% for grain is quite a bit. Yeah, but that's going to take a while, too. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Liberal Party have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. I guess the thing we could look at, just kind of bite the bullet on this, right? So if we wanted to get human rights, so it would take 19 years, right? If we were to research like everything here, that's like 3 years, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, yeah. So in terms of getting through level 2 of the tech to not get the ahead of time penalty, it's not, I think we just beeline it for human rights. I hate to say it because spending like 19 years on that, we're not going to do much until we do that. And I would say, you know, we need to do railways But we don't have people to work these railways, and we're not going to get the people until we get multiculturalism. In fact, as much as I would love to get a company, a minor scandal has buzzed around the Liberal Party as a piece of reformist fiction written by Norbhu Shatra in his youth has begun to circulate once more. Whilst enthusiastically written, that is the work's only merit. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I think we're gonna get rid of this and just go straight for human rights. We do need this, though, because we need... this is going to help us with some of the infrastructure. Let's see. Speaking of being a teacher, I love history. I'm young, but I don't think it would be good for me to become a teacher. I don't know. It depends on what my education would be like and everything else. Yeah. I like teaching the college level. I don't think I could teach lower than that. I don't think I could teach kids. I want to teach adults, you know? That's what I need. This is why I keep telling you to get the Lanfang mod pack. Immigration changes the game from China. By 1862, you'd be at 1.5 million pops at least if you had Cantonese immigration. Well, I think, though, the problem is, though, I can't really add the mod in, right? Once I've already started the run. I would have to, like, restart the run. That's the problem I ran into. Otherwise, I would have checked it out. But at this point, the train has left the station, as they say. Supporters of Agrarian Party have gone beyond... Oh, and hello there. Welcome back. Good to see you. I'm just responding to stuff without saying hello. I apologize. Supporters of the Agrarian Party have gone beyond simply campaigning for their own party, harassing and sometimes physically attacking opposing partisans. Where is the Agrarian Party here? Oh, yeah, we don't want any of that. Yeah, I mean, they can lose 10%. I don't really care about the Agrarian Party right now. Yeah, exactly. If they're already a weak movement, then that's nothing. Exactly. You don't matter to me, Agrarian Party. I'm sorry to tell you. Now, in terms of this... Okay, so we've decreased this. Ooh. Oh, we have a new president. Alright, so the Liberal Party won. I don't know. I think we're going to need to get the landowners back in the game here. I hate to say it. Yeah, I mean, I was a kid once, and kids, well, let's just say they can be annoying sometimes. But teenagers can also be annoying, so let's be semi-adult teenagers. Yeah, and also the young adults can be annoying at times, too. But not quite as annoying as kids, I will say that. It's war if you press that button. Press, press, press. Not that you're getting immigration from China. I say do it if your army is ready. I think we might be able to do it peacefully, though. Because if we can get the landowners in power and offer an obligation, then I think they would actually accept it. Representing his constituents in the trade unions, Deng Fengjia has issued a formal petition to the Lanfang government for interventionism. Yes. We were going to do this anyway, and so now we'll get extra approval from them and increase the workforce ratio. So we will do that. A mine in East Borneo has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across East Borneo. We'll do this because this will give us the least amount of radicals. Although, if we got one from the trade unions, yeah, it still wouldn't get us there. I mean, the rural folk is what I meant to say there. Because, yeah, if we... Yeah, offering that gives us 15. We might also be able to do it with the military projection. Like, maybe we'll do... I keep pushing off these gold mines, but... Spanish construction in our country. Wait, what? What kind of deal? Did they just get like a... a mutual investment agreement, so they can invest in us now. So they're never going to fight against them. Wow, we'll have spaghetti for dinner. It's a little cold here where I am, 5 degrees. So come at the right time. 5 degrees. Oof. Yeah, I missed that. No, I missed that I missed that Spain had gotten that mutual investment rights agreement. So that's interesting. See, I wouldn't mind. Actually, what's interesting now is if I can lower our autonomy peacefully, when I attack the Dutch East Indies, if I bring Qing in, I wonder, there might be a strong possibility of getting Spain in there as well. I think I might be able to not break free from Qing, but increase our autonomy peacefully. I think. This is why we all hate colonial masters, full sovereignty. I know, right? Yeah, that's why, like, being independent, I guess, would be best, less of a headache. Because if we increase our autonomy, I got to keep working to make sure we maintain that autonomy. But, you know, I'm building this sulfur mine. I guess, yeah, I did need to. The thing is, where I live, the summers are ostensibly hot, 38 degrees, and the winters get close to freezing. So it's a sudden change every year. Oh, interesting. So, I mean, that's kind of like where I am, too. Like, we've had some... Like, we've all been joking around here that it's like... One day, it's like you're wearing a coat, and the next day you're, like, in shorts. It's just been this crazy change in degrees from, like, day to day and week to week. The fact that you didn't try to steal Sulu Luzon when you invaded North Borneo means you don't have a direct land connection with Spanish Philippines. Yeah, your threat from Spain has just went down by half. Yeah, see, the problem is, I know this from previous runs I've done. I've done that in the past where I tried to take everything of theirs. But I always forget this is not connected by land, and so you have to naval invade this. And I didn't have ships for that. I could have taken this state. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean, Sulu Luzon. I thought you were talking about the whole country. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Sulu Luzon. Yeah, I would have had that land border with Spain. I see what you mean. Yeah, so if the Spanish are to invade you, they'd have to come by sea. I say beef up your navy. See, I was thinking about that, doing the navy, but the thing is, I also, until I get these mass migrations, it's really a matter of managing people. the more people I put in the Navy, the less I'll have in the Army. Now, I'm not saying I shouldn't do a Navy, but I just don't know, like, at what point do I want to leave all of them for the Army? Are those fireworks? Somebody's shooting off fireworks outside my building here. Whoa. This is a great view for everybody of me right now, right? Oh my god. Okay, so I live in a city, and somebody is shooting off fireworks, like, in the city itself, not, like, in a park. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if the sound of it is coming through on my mic here or not. Let's see. General Shi King personal habits are starting to get in the way of his role as a general. How much do we like this guy? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, you can hear that? Yeah. There's like a lot of them going off there. I can't believe they're doing that. Right in the middle of a bunch of buildings. He's a stalwart defender, though. No. He's too valuable. Oh, yeah, but he has... Oh, yeah, look at this. All right, let's pause for a second. Who do we have in the pipeline? Ooh. Do we have someone... Yeah, we're going to keep him. I want that stalwart defender. In Wayne Gillis, that'd be written... Si Hisu Shing. That should help with confirming your pronunciation. Si Shu Shing. Si Shu Shing. Oh, I get Si Shu Shing. Si Shu Shing. Ah, okay, I get it. I love the pronunciation help you've been giving me. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Si Shu Shing. I have been remembering the tip you gave me about how the X sound is. So I've been trying to get better at remembering that. Oh, okay, yeah. Thanks for stopping in, Barney. Always good to have you. Good chatting with you. You make for some good conversations. Enjoy the spaghetti. Stay warm. Try to. And yeah, I'll see you next time, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right? That would be the easiest way to do it, but unfortunately, Twitch only allows it to go one way. Oh wait, what am I doing? Not passing for some reason I was like, oh, we gotta wait for a law to finish. Let's do this. Alright. So if we can get it passed... oh, if we get it passed, though... It's not going to give us approval. I don't know why I was thinking that. Because it gives us disapproval if it fails. It depends on the country, and I think for Lanfang, it kind of is. We're going to lose a little bit of government dividends efficiency, and so if you're more of an agrarian economy, like you get this investment pool contribution efficiency, but you do get an inefficiency for capitalists. So a lot of our manufacturing, our private manufacturing, we're losing contribution efficiency from capitalists. But I also want to make the trade unions happier, because I would like to get up to solidarity here to get the workforce ratio up. So interventionism isn't so bad, that the pros and cons. I would rather have interventionism and the solidarity, and also not have, because before too they were on work to rule, so we were getting this negative 10% state construction efficiency, which was killing us. Ideally, I wouldn't get off of agrarianism yet, but eventually we want to get off of it, because we'd rather empower the capitalists than like the agrarian people. All right, has this changed at all? 20. So -5. In Nobu Shatra's body of published works is a popular new book with a vision of what interventionism might look like. Lawyers affiliated with the literati say the contents are legally sound. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. I almost forgot about what the literati will give us. Yes, let's take this. So we need to get up to 10 for the literati. Since labor is strapped, should we try to aim for the most technologically superior production method then? All in order to make use of each person's productivity. That would be nice, but the problem we have is we don't have a lot of PMs to work with, because we haven't really been able to tackle the production end. Because really our solution is getting to human rights, and getting multiculturalism. If we got multiculturalism, for one, it'd be much easier to hire soldiers. And then we really would start getting a bunch of migration if we got it. So technology-wise, we've been heavy on the society end. And unfortunately, it's cost us a lot in regards to production. So we don't have a lot of labor-saving PMs right now. Otherwise, yeah, we definitely would be utilizing them. So let's take a look at what we have so far. Yeah, like this one isn't labor-saving. It's the green ones that are labor-saving. Oh, well, okay, yeah, so we could utilize that one. Oh, I didn't realize we weren't utilizing that there. Yeah. And then on this end, we don't have much. Though... The tooling workshops. In fact, that should be the metric to work on, no? Oh, wait. Well, better productivity, dollar efficiency is good too. It is. It is. But so for us, what we're what we're working mainly towards is I want to get this. Minors, not minors. Starting as Lanfang, incorporate all the states in Borneo, and have the compulsory primary school law. So we need more military, at least until we clear the Dutch East Indies off of the island here. So the idea is I need mass migration so I can make people soldiers, because I need a larger military, and I also need people who are not the primary culture to be able to qualify as officers better. And in order to do that, I need to be on multiculturalism. So I need more soldiers and more accepted pops. And the only way to really do that at this point is with multiculturalism. Then we can take this land off of the Dutch East Indies. And then after that, it's just a matter of passing laws. So once we get them off of the island, then we can pivot towards all of these production methods and start doing that. Businesses survive and thrive solely on the viability of its operations. No. If that's the case, should military be a better way to go? That's the thing. I would love to research more of the military here. But again, the military stuff doesn't give us any labor-saving PMs in terms of soldiers. When it comes to the military, you just need more people, because ultimately you need more manpower. And so this is just people. And so we need more people. And the only way we're going to get more people is with mass migration. And the only way we're really going to get a significant mass migration is with multiculturalism. Oh, militia, the civic. No, because the problem with this one is instead of professional army, use the people's militia. So yeah, it's what the U.S. does. See, here's the thing. So basically, national militia gives you less standing army and more of a conscription army. And so you can have more conscripts. But your conscripts are based on how many people you have working. And so it doesn't conscript people who aren't working in a building. And so you can see here, if we were to take national militia, we would only get a maximum of 15 battalions that we can conscript. So we'd have a total of 15 conscriptable battalions. We'd have 5 barracks levels. So we only have 3 states. So our standing army, we would only be able to do 5 level barracks in each state. That's 15 units of standing army. And we'd only be able to have 15 units of conscription. So our total military, no matter what, will only be 30. Whereas with professional army, we're only going to get 1 conscriptable battalion, but we're able to build as many barracks as we need. And so if we can get mass migration, then we can turn them into standing army better. So that's kind of the thinking on that one. Ideally, yes, the 5 standing army may not look like much, but the conscripts could be powerful once you have the states integrated, which you do now. Yeah, but you can see we're only going to be able to conscript 15 battalions total in the country. That's what this thing is telling you right here. So the maximum our military will be is 30 battalions, which is not going to do much for us against the Dutch East Indies. We need a larger military than that. If we had a lot more conscriptable battalions from national militia, then I would go for it. But it's just not going to create the military that we need. We need to be able to build a larger standing army. Let's speed this up again. Oop. Let's see, what do we have? A well-acclaimed troupe of wandering artists has arrived at North Borneo, followed by hundreds of requests about our generous government funding one of their concerts. Well, it's not ideal, but I'll take the prestige. Oh, you know... No, I want you to stick around. I actually would like to make you the leader of the landowners. Yeah, you stick around, buddy. Don't you go anywhere. If you split your army into 3 medium-sized armies, not intended to fight head-on with the DEI, but to blitzkrieg the whole island before they land, that could be a strategy. Probably a little advanced. Well, the problem, though, is that they don't need to land on the army because they own states here. So they can position their armies on the island as the diplomatic play continues. If we were going to fight Great Qing, then yeah, we could do that. Because Great Qing would have to naval invade us, as long as the Dutch East Indies doesn't get on their side. But if we're fighting the Dutch East Indies, they're already on the island. So during the lead up to war, they can just bring their soldiers here. And also, one benefit we have in against Great Qing is that this is just one strategic region. So we would only need, there's only one HQ here. So all of our armies can just sit in the HQ while Qing tries to naval invade us. So we're actually pretty good in terms of defending against naval invasions. The problem is that the Dutch East Indies doesn't need to naval invade. They're already on the island. The populist base of the trade unions has turned against supporting foreign entanglements. Pressure from within has led the group to distance themselves from the anti-Dutch society. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't know why you guys are in that society to begin with. Yeah, the micro is actually not to escalate the Diplo play until just before it goes into red. That way they have no time to conscript and land. Well, no, I mean, if you start a diplomatic play against the Dutch East Indies, at the very beginning of it, they're going to mobilize their armies and position them here. That's going to happen just at the beginning of the play. No matter what. Now, that strategy that you're talking about will work against Great Qing, but not against the Dutch East Indies. Although we can't even fight the Dutch East Indies until we increase our autonomy, because we can't start a diplomatic play. Oh, you guys, I hate old ways. I hate this. Negative 10% tech spread. Killing me. You're killing me, rural folk. You're killing me. But we're close. We are close. We're close to being able to make a move here. So we need to increase our autonomy. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So we're getting there. We are getting there. Oops. Okay. In an obscure meeting, Norbhu Shatra and a proxy of the rural folk rambled at length about the positives of interventionism. One was cognizant enough to take minutes. Honestly, I would love if... See, I don't want any interest group political strength. So if we got this 70% chance... I mean, yeah, look at interest group pop attraction. I would love to get this +2 interest group approval from the rural folk. And there is a chance he gets exiled. Let's open up the rural folk so that we can take a look at... I think we're going to risk this top one. Or no, I mean this one. I hope we get approval of the commons. We'll see. What did we get? Oh, we got it. Okay. So now we're just on the cusp of getting rid of old ways. Where does it show it? There it is. Yeah, approval of the commons. So for 5 years, we've got +2 interest group approval. If we can just get one more and get off of old ways. Ooh, we can't afford that tech spread. Yeah, we're a subject. But it is going down. What does our obligation get us? It's still 15. It would put us at -4. Now we can't put the landowners in government yet. I would love it if their government changed somewhat. It's so funny, I've never in this game been like, man, I wish the landowners weren't marginalized right now. But yet, here we are. It would be very beneficial to us right now if they were not marginalized. Although I guess that's a short-term gain, long-term loss, but whatever. I'll take it. Yeah, well, a big problem fighting the Qing. They have a navy, we don't. See, the thing, though, about the navy is, when it comes to naval invasions, if our soldiers can take their soldiers, then their navy doesn't matter. Because there's basically two phases of the naval invasion. There's the naval invasion part, and then the land war. So we basically concede the naval invasion and just do the land war. But in the land war, the advantage is always on the defender's side. Because they can only send... Oh my god, look, yeah, they only have 4 flotillas. You know, we might just declare independence. Let's slow down for a second here. So they can only send as many battalions as they have flotillas without getting some type of penalty. So they can only really send 4 flotillas our way. I usually play it safe and don't even let them touch the ground. Even if we don't win navally, we stall them. Yeah, I mean, ideally, it would be nice if we had, like, a navy to speak of. But we don't. Unless we could get somebody on our side. But if we declared independence now, with their crippled navy, I feel like it's possible. Now, the only thing that would kill us is if the Dutch East Indies sided with Qing. Then it would be over. They will send their big armies with big penalties. I thought they had 22 flotillas. Just go now then. Yeah, I know, right? They used to have 22. Now they have 4. Now kind of is the time. We're going to take a save. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take a little save. Not because we're going to save scum anything. Never, never. We would never save scum. But we're going to think about this for a moment. Okay, let's just save it locally. And I'll figure that out later. What we will... Okay, so here's what we'll do. We are depending on them for grain quite a bit. We're going to finish this fertilizer plant so that we can activate fertilizers in the rice farms. We'll finish this last barracks off. And then while we're fighting the war, we can get these gold mines going. And hopefully they don't build up some ships before then. The Qing is allied with Spain. The DEI has nothing to do with that. Yeah, likely they'll take neutrality. Yeah, I would be very surprised if the Dutch East Indies sided with Great Qing. Like, if we look at this... they are cooperative with them. But I still don't think they would side with them. Okay, so now we have fertilizers. So let's create a market for it. Let's do it there. Oh, we're already doing it here. Okay. So 6 weeks and that'll be done. So in 6 weeks, we might do it. What's crazy though is we could lower our autonomy peacefully. I feel like we're trending toward it. Like if this gets to 15 or 14 even, then we can do it peacefully. But we'll still be a subject of Qing. If we do the war, we could be independent. Although we do lose the Qing market. But the Qing market is also killing us on iron. Let's finish these barracks and then see where we are. I think the rating is tantalizing but not achievable. I think you're right. I think you're right. It's tempting, but since you're not getting mass migration from China because you're in the same market, just go for India. Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're very, very right. Let's see. We might go for National Guard just to make the armed forces happy and get our offense defense there. Ah. Okay, so we got that. Now, we also are going to want to bump this up. Or at least get it to here. So let's finish this gold mine. Let's finish this gold mine and then we're going to make a decision about it. It's debt time, yeah. Problem is, can we survive debt time? We got a 22% interest rate. Well, that's the question. Do we have labor to run the mines? I mean, our economy could pretty much just be mines and armies at this point in time. Oh, look at this, yeah. We've barely made a dent on that stuff. I wonder if we got out of the Qing market, if we could get more Korean migration. It doesn't seem like... Oh, wait, hold on. We're starting to get immigration from Korea. So maybe we don't do this. If it does become an independence war during the period, you'll be an independent market, so you'll need to import Siamese rice. Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, we would be an independent market. We would have a kind of a market shock to the system. But we're starting to get Korean migration. So, will leaving the Qing market hurt that? I don't know. I don't actually know the answer to this question. If we leave the Qing market, no, I don't think so, because that's not going to hurt us. Because Korea's, they have no migration control, so they can come here regardless. But it does say, has a high migration attraction compared to the average in the Qing market and may receive immigrants from other states in the Qing market. Yeah, the Qing market's biggest boon is the manpower. We're finally getting migrants. And that drip feed of people is sure delicious. Yeah, I know. And we might be able to decrease our autonomy, or increase our autonomy peacefully. This perceived ability to defeat Lanfang in a diplomatic play keeps going down. Hey, Barney, I came back. The spaghetti was good. Just the classic stew plus pasta. Excellent. Sounds excellent. We are in the middle of a couple decisions here. Now I am kind of thinking maybe it's best if we don't try to go independent. I think we can increase our autonomy peacefully. That'll give us the ability to make diplomatic plays. And then we'll continue to get this migration from Korea, which we desperately need. Oops. A popular Hakka newsletter has released a statement by Norbhu Shatra endorsing several poets known for their sympathies to the industrialists' interests. Yeah, just give us plus 7% on that. Okay, so this guy, our general, what's his deal? Yeah, our defensive strategist, we want that guy. Oh. No, we will take Oh, we'll lose 2 on them, though. I don't know about that. No, we'll do it. I'd rather get closer to this increase to the migration attraction. Yeah, isn't there any European power to nothing to do to help you? The problem is all these European powers are all buddy-buddy with Qing. So anybody with this -1,000 here is going to have either disinterested or like buddy-buddy to Qing. Definitely not Spain, because they're good friends. Russia. Yeah, like nobody. Everybody loves Qing. What's so great about Great Qing? Oh, look at the United States, though. Hold on. The U.S. is belligerent towards them. What are the ideological differences? Oh, you guys still have the landowners? Who's the president now? Lemuel Saltonstall. Yeah, but none of that would really help. Okay. The only ones who are going to do anything are the Iberian powers, France, UK, Russia, and possibly Denmark. Denmark? Really? I wasn't even looking at them. What's their power? Oh, look at that. They got subjugated by France. So they ain't helping us for nothing. But as I said, the U.S. is a great backup. Not militarily, but economically, diplomatically, yeah. Well, maybe it's time. Ooh, hold on. Let's move our interests over here. See what we can get from them. Alright, we're gonna take, we're a little over 2 hours now. I'm gonna take a quick 60-second break, go to the bathroom, stretch the legs. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna make a decision about what to do here, because now we can get a company. We might try to get a company. I would like to get the military company. Give us increase to military, but we'll see. Alright, be right back. Alright, and we're back. Oh, the American West Coast. Yes, yes. Right. Excellent. Thank you for that. Thank you for the reminder. Oh, well. Looks like we won't be able to contact Mexico. They pushed them out of there. But we will be able to contact Columbia District and the Hudson Bay Company. But the looks like the U.S. manifests destinied. And then some. Still, though, not bad. Okay, let's get the mines going. So we need to increase, because... Oh, yes, you're right. Okay. That's right. Yeah, they have an interest in the region. I forgot about that. Okay. Great point. Excellent point. So we need to increase power projection. So we have this. Okay, yeah, let's upgrade to Lancers. And let's add one more. So we're at 12 here. 8. Let's do 1 and 1. Yeah. We're going to need it, though, if we're going to be fighting a land war against the Dutch East Indies. Because we're going to need that kill rate. Because we're going to be outnumbered. And so... so having this kill rate will hopefully level things out a little bit. I wanted to learn how to make brownies. My mother once made them here at home, and I'm embarrassed to say how much I ate. The only bad thing is that they have a lot of sugar. So you're amped up? You're just itching for war now, is what you're saying? Hey, oh, the United States is now protective. So it got a little bit better. That's good. Interesting. In my runs, my army composition of non-infantry goes up to 40% tops. 50% is really pushing the limit. Oh, really? The way I usually arrange my military is I have 3 types of armies that I create. Main army, a cavalry, and a National Guard. The main army is more of like the utility one. They'll go on offense and defense. They'll have 50% infantry, 50% artillery. Cavalry is always the one that's going to push past the line, occupy land. 50% infantry, 50% cavalry. Then the National Guard unit are the ones I'll put on a line and just kind of hold the line, and they're 100% infantry. Then I usually will also have a landing army if I have navies and I'm doing landing parties. And they will be infantry and cavalry as well. Well, technically the penalty starts when non-infantry outnumbers infantry. Yeah, you can't have more of any of these guys than the infantry anyway. Hey, Paco, you're back. Hey. At a Twitter space. Hello. Good to have you back, my friend. Does Borneo have gold? I have to bring some freedom there. Yeah, America. Yeah, right. That's exactly what America was thinking. They're like, oh wait, you guys got gold? Do you want to be friends? Norbu Shatra has thrown a soiree for the cream of the industrialists. Bribes, all disguised as donations, traded hands into the free trade party. Here the country is a house. How is doing your Lanfang? Okay, so we're doing okay actually. I mean, we're on the cusp of doing okay. We are close to being able to increase our autonomy peacefully, which would be ideal. Yeah, by the 1890s. Borneo has oil? We need to bring freedom. We need to free your oil from your hands. I think if we increase our... Ooh, no. I want to finish that. Our power projection a little more. I forgot what... Oh, chaos. I forgot what chaos is in English. Yeah. Here the country, here the country's in chaos. Yeah. In real life, my country's in chaos right now. My Lanfang is a little bit more stable. Actually, hopefully, the United States could help us maybe against the Dutch East Indies. Doesn't look like they really care about the Dutch, which is good. Admiral Zakai has made public statements in support of the Patriotic Party, bringing into question the political neutrality of the military. Actually, wouldn't mind the Patriotic Party having a little bit more momentum, because we're going to bring them into the fold when we go to war. You have Chinese culture, but can you form Indonesia? If so, it would be funny. Confucian Indonesia. I believe I can. Eventually. Yeah, I don't have it yet, but I think at least when I have the whole island, I might be able to start doing that. Well, that's true. The U.S. is worse than us in this precise moment. Yeah. But there's plenty of chaos to go around. Woo! Look at that increase. We will... well, okay, we're going to actually... Yeah, we're going to increase the gold reserves because we're going to need this when we go to war so that we don't go into debt. Oops. Whoopsie. Go play the Nanyang Lanfang mod. That's exactly what it's designed to do. Alright. Yeah, so let's get these barracks done. And we should still be getting... Yeah, so we're getting Korean migration. Yeah, look at that. So before, I took a note on what our population was in North Borneo. We're at 375,000. We're now up to 513. Yeah, we're getting quite a bit of population increase. All right, egalitarianism. So now, 16 years. So 1882. Human rights. So everything else we're just going to hope to get off of tech spread. Percussion cap. That's pretty good, actually. Chinese Indonesia is a cool thing to think about, since the Confucians were an absolute minority. Well, for those wondering what it's like to put together a Cassius Belli in real life and not in Hearts of Iron 4, that is what Trump is doing in LA, justifying mass deportation. Yeah, it's exactly what he's doing right now. He's trying to create chaos. Just be like, look at all the chaos. How could this happen? Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating. Ooh, canneries. Okay, we're going to get to that in a second. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Liberal Party have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Oh, okay. Well, Liberal Party won. We have a new president. Yang Li. More authority. And more authority. Okay. So, the Liberal Party and the Free Trade Party. Look at that righteous government. Excellent. That's what we need. Nitroglycerin is spreading. Okay, let's take a look at... Oh, well, wait. We don't have food industries anyway. Which, you know... Yeah. Nanyang Republic is the United States of Asantora. It also includes Malay and optionally New Guinea too. Chinese Manifest Destiny. Since we have time, here's another question. Presidents or chancellors? I find parliaments to be much more popular and flexible. Yeah, I think generally the parliamentary system is kind of better just because... with the presidential republic, you get this legitimacy penalty from ideological incompatibility. And with this one, I guess you can get an extra 10 for putting your head of state and government. You get authority with presidential republic. So it kind of seems like with parliamentary republic, you get more legitimacy, and you get +1 government size allowance, so you can include more people in the government. But with this one, you get more authority. So I think generally a parliamentary republic is kind of better, but not so much so that I think you have to rush to change to it if you're on presidential republic. Let's be one of the Asian tiger's ham from a Chinese colony tax haven. P.S. Do not confuse with the Heavenly Kingdom. Yeah. Yeah, I hope we don't get confused with the Heavenly Kingdom, because they kind of got crushed. Alright. Ooh, France is starting to colonize. Okay. Ooh, yes. Okay. Offered a university in North Borneo. This is a wonderful idea. We absolutely need that. Let's take it. Borneo had a run before where I formed Nanyang Republic. In the process of independence from the Qing, I bit back and formed the Republic of China. See, that's something that might be the Great Qing run I would do to see if I could form China. We Nanyang Chinese modernize the motherland. Or just do the Heavenly Kingdom run. That might be what I do too. Oh yeah, we don't have any gold there. The gold is here. Oh, what are you people doing? Okay. Hmm. $16. It went down 2. So yeah, I think when we finish these barracks with an obligation, we'll be able to lower our, or not, I keep saying lower, increase our level of autonomy peacefully. I think that might be best, just because we still want to stay in the Qing market, to be honest, at least for now. I think a goal for the run will be to get out of the market, but yeah, like guns are cheap in the market, artillery's cheap. We also have our own. I wish ships were a little cheaper, because then I would make... So the thing, though, is when we take on the Dutch East Indies, I will need to protect these 2 sea nodes. So... percussion cap, that's good. So we'll want to make some light ships. I only take 1. Maybe we build these in East Borneo. Because eventually... Oh, no, we're going to need iron. How much are they getting? The great irony of that run is that I got out of the Chinese market only to client state the ROC back into the Lanfang market. Excellent. Just kind of going back and forth there. Alright, so we're going to do 5 there. And then we'll create another fleet. Yeah, there we go. We'll take this guy and then do another 5 in East Borneo. We'll use these 2 fleets to protect the sea nodes when we take on the Dutch East Indies. Hey, Rob, you're back. Hello, welcome back, welcome back. I don't understand much about which is the biggest club in the U.S. Oh, would it be the LA Galaxy? Historically, it's the LA Galaxy. The LA Galaxy this season is... they're on one of the biggest opening losing streaks in league history. It's nuts. They're the defending champion, and they can't seem to win a game this season. Who is the biggest club in the U.S.? I guess that depends on what you're talking about. Is it, like, you're talking about who's the best team this season? Or, like, historically, who has been the best team? Historically, it's the LA Galaxy. Who is the best team this season? It's hard to say. There's some good teams, but nobody's really pushed ahead of anybody else. But of course, you're asking me who's the biggest team in the U.S. It is, of course, my beloved New York Red Bulls, the one and only team. That is my diehard team. Moral of the story, one does not simply leave China alone. Yeah. One does not simply leave China alone. Yeah, maybe that's why not not trying to get independence from them before we take on the Dutch East Indies is best. Yeah, DEI is still standing. We ended up getting sidetracked a bit because we got vassalized by Great Qing. It decreased our level of autonomy, and so that kind of got us there. The Newark Red Bulls. The Newark Red Bulls. We play in Harrison. Thank you very much. But yes. We play in New Jersey, much like the other team that claims to only play in New York. Only half their games are in our stadium. My criteria for historical greatness is fans, titles, relevance, and competitiveness. A club that won everything 50 years ago and disappeared is hard to call great. Okay. Please stream long enough for me to cook a steak. What do you mean? Was that cook a steak? Or is that a steak? Then I would say fans, titles, relevance, and competitiveness. Then I would say probably, yeah, the biggest team is the LA Galaxy. They've won the most titles. They are not the biggest fan base, though. Steak. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yeah, I mean, I'll be here for definitely long enough to cook steak. I guess it depends on how well done you like your steaks. Relevance and competitiveness. They're not very competitive this season, but again, they won the title last year. They beat us in the final. Not quite over it, but it is what it is. USA all the way. The United States is just the greatest country in the world, you guys. I say that because they're bankrolling us now. But they still won't support our independence or give us military assistance. But they're bankrolling us. Oh, look at that. Yes. In USA, it's LA Galaxy. In Mexico, America, yeah, maybe. And in Canada, it's Toronto. I don't know. Football in Canada is still in its infancy. You want money? Here's some money. That's what America said. I don't know. Toronto. So Toronto's won the league, right? So, yes. Maybe they're the biggest team. But the problem with Toronto is they've been the best team and they've been the absolute worst team, too. They kind of bounce around so much, and they're currently on one of their downswings, whereas the Vancouver Whitecaps are in the CONCACAF Champions Cup finals. So who is the biggest team in Canada? I mean, I guess you would say historically it would probably be Toronto. Although the Montreal Impact has been around longer than MLS has been around. Although, sorry, they're not the Impact anymore. CF Montreal. But so have the Whitecaps. Does Social Security count as sponsorship? I guess it does. Sponsored by the government. Golf Leafs Golf. The Golf Leafs. Let's see. Has our military fully hired? They have. So has that done it for us yet? It has not. Look at that. Look at that. -1. Well, we're going to need more anyway. We're just going to go for it. All right. We're putting all of these Korean migrants straight into the military. Let's see, where are they? Yeah, look at this. They're like the third biggest group right now. Thank God for the Koreans. They're gonna get us this achievement. The clubs that come to mind from the U.S. are LA Galaxy, Seattle Sounders, New York Red Bull, DC United, and that scam called Inter Miami, which is also known for money laundering. I mean, that is true, but to be fair, I think every single business in Miami is a money laundering scheme. Even your little sandwich shop on the corner is probably laundering money of some kind. So, if they weren't laundering money, like, are they really a Miami team? Being friends with the U.S. helped our posture. Yeah, perhaps send a trade mission once we can. That's not a bad idea, actually. Start engaging in some trade. Actually, yeah, what are their ships like? Not good. We could always use more artillery, though. Actually, no. What we could use from America is iron. Oh, yeah. Wait, what? Why? You know, we could also use... We could also start using some government admins. Definitely one in North Borneo. East Borneo needs a port. And, like, LA Galaxy was the first American club ever to win the CONCACAF Champions. That's no small feat. Technically, no. The first North American Championship won by an MLS team was DC United, though it wasn't called the CONCACAF Champions League at the time. I forget what it was called. It was like the Intercontinental Cup or something like that. So it was DC United. And the LA Galaxy have never won the CONCACAF Champions Cup. There's only one American team to ever win it, and that was the Seattle Sounders, and that was only just a couple years ago. Our teams have always fared poorly in that tournament because of the scheduling. Because the tournament plays on the European schedule, and MLS plays on a summer schedule. So the playoff rounds were always like during the preseason of our league. So we've never done very well, except that one season that Seattle won it. But the LA Galaxy have never won it. Don't ask what America can do for you, but what you can do for it. This is true. Although, does that really apply yet? The person who said that hasn't been born yet. Though I suppose if we play the Cold War mod, then we could say that. Speaking of which, what is their military looking like these days? Oof, 22. You know, I wish we had more conscripts. I guess we kind of do. Maybe in the cavalry. Seriously? Why does it say here that the LA Galaxy won the 2000 CONCACAF Champions League? No, definitely not. The 2000. Oh, the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Yeah, that was before it became the Champions League. And there were only, how many? 8 teams in it. Yeah. Yeah. So they won the Champions Cup. but once the CONCACAF finally got their act together, and they actually created a Champions League, like a legit tournament, an American team hadn't won it. But if you're going by Champions Cup, then the first team to ever win was DC United back in, I think it was like 97, maybe, something like that. Take over Massachusetts. Prevent JFK. I don't know. Piss off Big Daddy United States. Goal completed in West Borneo. Yeah, do not lower. Oh, wait, no, this is West Borneo. I don't actually mind the migration attraction there, because nobody's really moving there to begin with. But we can get another gold field out of it. Yeah, I am a OG MLS fan. I've been following the league since it started in '96. So I'm one of the senior MLS fans. So DC United, LA Galaxy, and now Seattle Sounders could be considered the big trio of America. I would say DC United was the original like major club of the US, but DC United is like that situation that you mentioned where like they won in like the 50s but haven't been relevant since. DC United hasn't been relevant since 2004. 2004 was the last time they won the league, and after that they've just never really been that relevant. They've been a decent team every now and then, but they're not really, they're nothing of what they used to be. Now, you know, they are the historical rival of the New York Red Bulls, so maybe I'm not unbiased in that. Ham, you're making me have the urge to run Vicky 3 again 1 week before the new expansion drops. I am intentionally refraining from it. You know, I know the feeling. I know what you're talking about. When I do my offline runs, like just for fun, I've been wanting to do a new United States run, like for achievements. But I'm like, I mean, I'm not going to finish it before Tuesday when the new update comes out. Should I just wait? So I know what you mean. I've been trying to hold off on playing the game, but it's hard to. It's hard to leave rap alone. The game needs me, you know? That's what I say. Okay. So LA Galaxy remained relevant for quite some time, right? Even with the emergence of LAFC. Yes, they have. I mean, in terms of fans in LA, I think LAFC is kind of starting to eclipse them in present day. But the LA Galaxy have been a relevant team mostly for the entire existence of the league. They were in the first MLS Cup. They lost to DC United. They have the most MLS Cups. They've had many years where they weren't relevant, where they didn't make the playoffs. Interestingly, when they have superstar players, they usually don't make the playoffs. Like when David Beckham first signed with them, the first 2 years Beckham was there, they couldn't even make the playoffs. And then the 2 years that Zlatan Ibrahimovic was there, they didn't make the playoffs either year. But I would say historically, yeah, the Galaxy are the historic team, unfortunately. All right, we're gonna go to 5-speed for a little bit. Wait. F's wait. F's wait. What? Wait, what? Wait for F's. Oh, the underwear model. That's right. I generally do like David Beckham, but when it comes to his time in MLS, I nothing but negative things to say. I think he was actually kind of disrespectful to our league. He was here for 5 years, but only played half a season for all of those years, except the final 2, I guess. So he spent 3 years only playing half of the year. One question: what would you think of a big Champions of America, all the Americas, even as just one edition? I would absolutely love that. I think it would be great if kind of like CONCACAF and CONMEBOL merged, and like the Copa America just included all of the Americas. I think that would be beneficial to the U.S., Mexico, and Canada in terms of competition, and I think that would be beneficial for CONMEBOL too, for media exposure and media rights money. So I think it would be best. Now I know Brazil has been possibly threatening to leave CONMEBOL. I don't know what's come of that, but wait, what? Why did our trade route become inactive? Are they in a war? Oh, they're in a war with Spain, and Qing is on their side. Well, poops. Qing, you're killing me. Wait, what is the war about? Humiliation. A regime change in Hawaii. Oh my god. Yeah, for sure, wait for achievements. I think so too, right? Well, because there's also going to be more that come out. So there's just going to be a whole bunch of new achievements to go for. LA Galaxy versus Flamenco from Brazil, or DC United versus River Plate, America versus Colo Colo. It would be amazing. Yeah. Well, sometimes in the past, there have been times where U.S. and Mexican teams have been invited to the Copa Sudamerica. I don't think we've ever been invited to the Libertadores, but I think we've been invited to Sudamerica. So it has happened, but it's very rare. But I think a tournament, yeah, where all of that happened regularly would be excellent. We'll be super competitive one day. I think when we were younger people finally started to play soccer. I am a very... I don't have a lot of positive things to say right now about the U.S. men's national team. I'm very upset that a lot of our big players have decided not to play the Gold Cup this summer in order to rest for their European season. I think that that's absolute nonsense. Because it's not important enough to them. It's important enough to me. And so it pisses me off. What's the point of having these players? And also the results have not been much better. We now have players all in Europe playing in these big teams, these big competitions, and the results have been absolute trash. No different than the years when we had all MLS rosters. So, I don't want to hear from these players like, oh, I'm too big for the Gold Cup, I need to rest for it. You lost in the semifinal of the CONCACAF Nations League to Panama. Don't tell me you're too good to play the Gold Cup. Please. Situation between Brazil and CONMEBOL is basically the following. Brazil is complaining about cases of racism against Brazilians. CONMEBOL is doing nothing. It clearly benefits Spanish-speaking clubs. That's what I've heard, yeah. I don't know if there's been any movement on that. At least now you don't have pesky Spanish investors on your land. Yeah, that's true, right? Spain hasn't actually built anything in our country, interestingly enough. I thought my generation would have been better. I mean, the players are good. They play very well when they're on their European teams. It's just, for some reason, when they wear the U.S. jersey, it's like they don't care because they're absolute trash here. So that, I think it's just a passion issue. You have the American Messi, Christian Pulisic. Yeah, he's one of the people I'm very kind of upset with right now. What's the point of having Christian Pulisic if he doesn't play? He's not playing in the Gold Cup this summer. So that's great for AC Milan. If you don't play for us, though, then you're useless to me. And the Pope. That's right, we got the Pope. The Chicago Fire have been an absolute waste of a team for a very long time. If the Fire do something this season, then you know the Chicago Pope had something to do with it. But hey, if there was a Champions of America, it would have to have a creative name like Copa Colombo, something like that. Yeah, right? Yeah, what could that name be? Let's see. Louis Q has offered to spend some of their personal wealth. Yes. Yes, give me more university. The liberal movement. Alright, let's do that. We're almost done with this gold mine, and then we can just go through these naval bases. Angel Reese, we're getting a lot of rebounds. Oh, yeah, yeah. See that? There's the Chicago Pope. He's going to do it for you. You know, actually, do we have a building to sell? Yeah, let's sell... Well, hold on. Can we hold the money in our treasury? Oh, yeah, we absolutely can. All right, let's sell this building. Let's hope Spain or Great Qing does about... Yeah, we have 16 million. We should be able... They should be able to. Yes, North Borneo took it. Good. Another tip in Hanyu Pinyin, C is read like a TS. Tss. Oh, tss. Interesting. Okay, so who was that? That was our... So C. So Liu Tsui. Liu Tsui. I see. Okay. Liu Tsui. Yeah, that would make sense, because even when I was saying like QE, I was like, this sounds wrong, but I don't know the alternative. Liu Tsui. Awesome. The reason why this whole system is so weird is because it's developed in communist China, which based the system on... Oh, Slavic pronoun. That is fascinating. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, I kind of see that, the Tsui. That is kind of Slavic. Oh, that's fascinating. I'm going to look that up later on, because that seems really interesting. Columbus Cup, New World Cup, America Continental Cup, hot dog, tacos, and beef championship. No, if it's the United States, it'll be something like the Budweiser Tostitos, you know, DirecTV Cup. That's what it'll let it be named. Look at college football. That's what they'll end up naming this stuff. Police officers in uniform have been discovered supporting Lanfang and Spanish Union activity while on duty, lowering public confidence in the police force. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh, yes. Let's pause for a second here. We can get the gold mine. Give us a plus 5% minting. Ooh, and that's like 300 right there. Now, the only thing here is, it would be nice to get this. But I don't think we have a level 3 tooling workshop, nor could we really even, like, afford one. I would like to see the US do well in a World Cup. I root for underdog teams to excel. I remember some players like Bradley and Dempsey. Oh, Dempsey. I'm not very big on Michael Bradley, but Dempsey is just like, I think honestly he's the best player the U.S. has ever um, produced, and I say that including the current generation. It's been interesting listening and comparing American sports leagues to the European format. Yeah, I think for me, when it comes to the format of the league, see, the game on the field needs to stay the same. The rules need to be the same. You can't change the rules in the field. When it comes to league format, I like the European system. I like the American system. I like having a playoff system. I don't think league format is something that needs to be uniform because league format is kind of different everywhere in the world, right? Like look at the difference between Germany and like the Premier League. Like in Germany, there's a playoff at the bottom of the table to see if a team doesn't get relegated, right? So there's variations in league structure. So I don't mind the difference in league structure with MLS, but I wouldn't be in favor of any rules being different in the match itself. Stuff is very commercialized here. Yeah, stuff is very commercialized in Europe as well. The whole thing is a commercial endeavor. It's very commercialized in Europe as well. And you just look at that whole business with the Super League that tried to happen. Feels like Parliament. Like I still don't understand how MLS works. Like I understand the two conference system, after all, America and Gigante, but without relegation. Yeah. See, here's the thing. Let's pause this for a second here. To understand why the United States has its league structure, I saw this once. If you put the map of the United States over Europe, LA is over here, New York is over here. And so, in terms of travel, if you didn't have the two conference system, it's every week you're playing a Champions League game. Whereas, like, you're in the Premier League, your games are right here, right? You're basically just traveling the state of California. So you have to have a league structure like we do here because we're just a massive country. You can't have a European league structure just because of the travel. I don't know much about soccer, football in general. I'm mostly comparing it to football and basketball. The playoff structure in MLS would be recognizable to you, Rob. It's more it's more like basketball. In the two conferences, it's an top 8 teams. Technically, the top 9 teams make it. So top 7 teams automatically make it, and then 8 and 9 play a play-in match. Oh, Yanni, hello. Good morning. Sorry it takes so long to come online. What did I miss? Good to see you, friend. Thanks for joining in. Well, we've had some stuff happen. We got subjugated. Let's take a pause. We got subjugated by Great Ching, but it looks like we might be able... Oh. A 1% chance of them accepting this. I didn't realize... See, so I was hoping to increase our autonomy peacefully. Oh, hold on. My headphones are dying now. Gotta do a headphone switch. They're not... Oh, but this isn't going to work, though. I thought we were going to be able to do this peacefully. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, though. So... Yeah, 1% chance, 99% of faith. This happens in Brazil. Like, you have, even in the lower leagues, clubs from all over the country Like a club from Para faces one of the Santa Catarina conferences would make sense in Brazil. Yeah. Well, isn't that kind of what the Brazil? I'm not entirely sure what the Brazilian format is, but I thought, yeah, they have like state championships, right? Like each state has a league, and then there's more of like a national title after that. Isn't that how that works? Damn. Okay. A 1% chance. Yeah, like that's not gonna happen. Are they gonna help us yet? They're disinterested. Alright, the thing that I need to figure out right now is this company. I would like to get this plus 5% army offense. We can get it with... No, oh yeah, because we're going to need like 5 level. See, we can't build 5 levels of anything. It says here that you only need... The building level is greater than or equal to 3. That's just going to get us to qualify for the company. Once we qualify, it's going to say we need 5 levels. So it might actually just be best to take the gold company, because the prosperity bonus we can get minting. And, oh, and we're going to get throughput bonuses on these gold mines. Yeah. We're going to take the gold company. That's what we're going to do. Ooh, I didn't think, though, about... Yeah, right? The gold companies... The throughput bonus is just... Yeah, look at that. A 38% throughput bonus. Oh, thank you for the stream, Ham. My food came out great. It was nice having the background noise. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad to help. Enjoy your food, my friend. Enjoy your food. I wish I had a steak in front of me right now. Well, actually, no, I had dinner tonight, but just in general, steak always sounds good. Yes, at the beginning of the year, there are the state championships, small tournaments in each state. Then comes the league. At the same time, the National Cup and the Libertadores. Okay, I see. It's only with EBTX that gold and weapon companies go wonky. Oh, interesting. Yeah. See, that's why I feel like let's get a Monday update here and see what... Oof! Look at that. Yeah. We are getting massive minting here. Although it looks like it's going to be tough to get the prosperity bonus. Imagine state championships in the United States. DC United would play some random neighborhood club. Yeah, that's what I thought it was in Brazil. But there is like a Serie A championship, from what I thought. If you have the mod, you can actually start Lanfang Company as the company. Oh, interesting. I actually can't wait to see what happens with companies in the next update. With executives and all that stuff. That's going to be cool. Alright, let's get these guys off of this. Yeah, so we're almost there for that. Let's get some of that authority back. And let's get... Oh yeah, and let's get some road maintenance there, because now we need... Yeah, okay, good. So now they have the infrastructure they need. Alright. Well, damn, I was hoping before the end of stream tonight to finish this Lanfang, or get off of this Qing stuff. But I think we might have to say that for the next stream. Oh, the Pacers won. Oh. Well, good for them. Good for them. Good for Halliburton. I'm actually happy for Halliburton. Yeah, the league has 4 divisions. The lower ones have the smaller clubs. The top ones have the richest and biggest clubs. And there is a relegation and access system, meaning it is possible to fall. Oh, but the first division is just a league table, like a European league table. So that was the thing. I thought Brazil had like conferences in their first division and stuff, but maybe not. It's just the division. The first division is just like the one European league table. You can win a war against Qing easy with help, and then you can take a state. I don't think we could take a state off of them. We might be able to win a war, because the thing is, as long as the Dutch East Indies doesn't join in with them, they would have to naval invade us. And the thing is, we have one HQ, so we can just park all of our armies in the HQ, and no matter where they try to naval invade us, we don't have to do anything. And I don't think... And the other thing is, they only have 6 flotillas, so they can only send 6 battalions, and anything more than that, they get a massive penalty. So we might be able to do it. Unfortunately, there isn't, which is crazy for a country the size of Brazil. In other words, clubs from the far south have to play the clubs in the far north, even the poorest ones. Yeah. See, that's the problem with the United States. If we went to a European league structure, it would be the same problem. So, yeah. Yeah, because Brazil is, like the U.S., is, like, massive in terms of land and distance. It's already entering the 1870s. You won't have much time left as your own power. This is true. This is true, but luckily, we've already incorporated the states. So if we took these on, we wouldn't have to wait the 20 years to incorporate anything. And so in terms of the achievement, we could get the achievement in a good amount of time. But I know what you're saying, like, it's 1870. It's time to hit the road on doing something here. Just go for it. The Qing is a lame duck if you have guns. Alright, let's take a save here. See, I wish... Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta save locally right now. I'm out of space. No, stop it. Just save it. Wait, am I saving? What am I doing right now? See, I'm past my usual end time, and I think I'm... The game field, this may be due to... Oh! Alright, hold on, everybody. Yeah. I was doing some video stuff today, and I've run out of disk space. Alright. Yeah. Thrilling streaming stuff while I try to clear some disk space so I can save my game. What wonderful stuff. All right, there we go. Maybe I'm used to dominating the entire Nanyang. If I haven't unified Borneo by the early 1860s, I consider myself behind schedule. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, being vassalized by Qing kind of threw us behind schedule for sure. I think what we're going to do is I think we're in a good position to gain independence from Qing. But it's going to take some preparation, not in terms of game time, but just in terms of mobilization options and stuff like that. So this might be how we start the next episode. Because I think we're kind of at time here. But we did some good stuff tonight. I think we're ready. I think when we take on Qing, I think we can get them. Get independence, because they can't send a lot of their armies here, and their armies are weak as it is. As long as nobody else joins in that war, I think we'll be okay. Once we're done with that, then we start looking at the Dutch East Indies. Of course, we do lose some of this migration, maybe. So it might just be a war to lower our, or to increase our autonomy. So that's the thing, we got some decisions to make. I don't think I have enough brain cells yet to make the right ones. So I think we're gonna call it here for tonight. So thanks for hanging out and watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Let's see. When am I on again? So I'll be on again on Friday. So for some Friday Night Frostpunk, we'll be back. We'll be back at this. Well, definitely on Monday. Though I might try to get a stream in this weekend. I'm not sure if I can. But I would like to. But we'll definitely be back at this on Monday. So yeah, nothing risked, nothing gained. Story of my life. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Anybody else out there who's watching, if you haven't already, please consider giving me a follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube. You'll get alerted to when I'm on again. But yeah, thank you, Barney. Bye to you as well, my friend. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. And as always, be awesome. I'll see you next time, everybody.